Oh god. I really love dark jokes, roasting, or even racial jokes. Why? Because I was born here in the Philippines, and this place is very rough, and those things are pretty common here. So, if you are a weak individual, sensitive person, this place is not for you. So that's why I'm gonna react to a YouTube video called Who Has the Best Stats? Let's go. Ready? Here we go.
Types of people was in a video game. What would their stats be? Let's start out
with the blacks.
HP, low. Turns out not having
Okay.
great access to healthcare means you don't live as long. Buffs, Johnson size. Debuffs, credit score, and fat
Of
white woman.
course.
Strength, I'm gonna say pretty high. Speed, high, but not high enough to escape their masters, apparently. Resistance, awkwardness. Black people are just born with a certain level of swag and have maxed out their support levels.
True.
IQ, low. And don't blame me, you're the one skipping school. Sure, you come from a single-parent household with a father in prison and teachers who don't want to put in the effort, but not getting good grades is still your fault. Oh, well, I'm smart. Okay, here's a math problem. You have $250. The stock market goes up an average of 7.5% a year. How much money do you have at the end of...
Listen, I'm Asian, okay? But I don't even understand what is a stock market is. Yeah.
the year? The answer is nothing, because you spent it on a new pair of Jordans. Endurance, incredible. I mean, they literally built them in.
That's me.
Luck, terrible. To go from slavery to segregation to finally getting your own Band-Aid color is pretty unlucky. Stealth, depends. In daytime, it's terrible. But nighttime, it's max. The only thing you'll see is floating Sauron eyes with an occasional puff from a Newport. Special ability, better at all sports. Have you seen the top 20 basketball
Yeah.
players? It's black eye, black eye, black eye,
That's
black
very
eye, black
true.
eye, black eye. Random outlier.
Yeah,
Black
yeah.
eye, black eye, black eye. Next up, Asians. HP, massive. In the United States, they have the highest life expectancy. Probably because dying isn't nearly as
Yeah.
bad as bringing your family shame. Debuffs, sorry Asians. God did you dirty in the Johnson department. Buffs, luckily to balance it out,
Yeah.
you made every Asian child size.
That sucks.
Strength, in relation to body weight, high. Compared to any black person, low. Speed, average. Unless it's a hot dog eating
Yeah.
contest. Then they're an expert in farming. Resistance, proud parents. IQ, Asians are close to maxing out their IQ. I guess having your teacher beat you with a rod.
Hey, like I said, I'm Asian, but I'm still dumb. I hate math. Okay? Yeah.
And having your parents beat you with the same rod is a good way to increase work ethic. Happiness
Yeah.
might exist if they had
Discipline
Christmas.
shit.
You know why Asian kids don't believe in Santa? Because they're the ones making the toys! Endurance, very high. Working in a sweatshop is hard. And I should know because
Yeah.
I walked a mile in their shoes.
Speaking of endurance, I think I can run 2 miles without stopping. About 38 minutes. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, only 2 miles.
Luck, average, which isn't surprising considering most of them are bots. Special ability, invisibility. I don't even know why ninjas wear masks when you can just back up 10 feet into a
Yeah.
crowd and completely
Yeah,
disappear.
true.
Next up, lights. HP, above average. Buffs, jab applications.
Okay.
Debuffs, a girlfriend with no gag reflex. Strength, physically average. Strength in dominating other countries, max. Speed, like
Yeah.
on Adderall, high. Resistance,
But they're cool.
accountability. IQ, average, as we have the smartest and dumbest people out there. I can't even believe Einstein and Vin Diesel are the same species. Happiness, low. You think it'd be high considering we conquer the world, but with every technological advancement, we just invent
Yeah.
new ways to get depressed. Like my magic phone keeps buffering and we're unchained. Ugh, now I know what being a slave feels like. Endurance,
think,
average. Luck,
privilege
max.
thing.
Aside from being a man in a first world country,
Yeah.
I can't get much luckier
True.
than being white. Special ability, winning.
Yeah.
People are like a DLC character that's just better than the rest
Yeah.
of the cast. Don't
America,
go to
always
the
win.
museum and check out our KD ratio. Next up, Japanese. HP, well, they have one of the high suicide rates, so very low. Buffs, tentacle, debuffs. Strength, pretty high. Probably because they have a small
Kaiju.
hitbox. Speed, above average, unless it involves their Nezuko body pillow, then it's feverish. Resistance, big titties. IQ, very high. Japan is not
Very
for
horny.
technology. They got bullet trains, bidets in every hotel, and there's spots that don't judge you. This doesn't normally happen to me.
There. You tried your best. Would you like me to
Yeah.
eat your butt now?
Yeah. Happiness, low. Unless you get lucky and have 2 used panties dropped in
Yeah.
a vending machine. Endurance, very high. 2 nuclear bombs prove they're good at tanking. Luck, horrible. If you're a
Come
girl,
on.
you've probably been groped on a train. And if you're a guy, you can't even grope someone without them complaining. Special ability, if you put an unsolved Rubik's Cube in a Japanese woman's... Sorry. Sounds really stupid. Okay. If you put an unsolved Rubik's Cube in a Japanese woman's cooter and it comes back solved, she's pregnant. Next up, Koreans. HP, well, their life expectancy is around 83, so very high. Buffs, Gundam style.
Yeah.
BBQ. Debuffs, driving. Strength, it's hard to tell because all the characters use the same skin. Speed, need for. Resistance, feeling loved. IQ, very high. Koreans tend to excel at math. probably because their dog can never eat their homework. Happiness, Koreans have maxed out their sadness. In America, we're great at ending each other. But South Korea, they're great at ending themselves. Koreans have the highest self-slaughter rate, which might be because of their parents. Korean parents are born with disappointment in their children, which is a great motivator if you want your kid to become a CEO. So he can jump from a higher window. Endurance, very high. Every other week, their next door neighbor threatens them with nuclear warfare, and yet they still find a way to dance to shit music. Luck, low. This is considered sexy in South Korea. The dude looks like a big toe that wished he became a person,
Fanboys.
then decided to have a sex change. Special ability can lower their frame rate when dancing. Next up, Mexican. HP, above average. Buffs, manual labor. Debuffs, paying taxes. Strength, high. Cockfighting taught them to go for the jugular. Speed, very high. Can complete any construction project in half the time of a white person. Resistance, birth control. IQ, low. If they were smart, they'd kidnap their racist farm owners, unionize, pool their money together, buy the farm they're originally working on, then hire another poor race to do the work. Happiness, pretty high, which is surprising considering they spend most of the game completing escort missions. Endurance, max. Criminals, bums, and they'd still be like, si senor, so the whole lawn and the hedges? Luck, terrible. You're so close to America, and yet, so far. Special ability?
Illegal.
Next. Indian. HP? Well, they believe in reincarnation, so I guess that means they maxed out their HP. Once it
Mortal
goes to zero,
shit.
the game just resets with a new character. Buffs, Krishna. Debuffs, reality. Strength, it's gotta be high if they can drink their water and
Hygiene too.
instantly get diarrhea.
Yeah.
Speed, slow. Too many people are playing Train Simulator, causing it to lag. Resistance, spicy foods. IQ, average. They recently landed a rocket on the moon, and yet half the population can't even spell rocket. Happiness, low. There's no such thing as your own room in India. Just a spot on the ground. Endurance? Well, if we're talking about keeping their wife in shape,
Yeah, I have no
maybe
idea
max.
about their
Very
endurance.
low. India is one of the most densely populated places on the planet.
Yeah.
And they only have like 7 toilets. Special ability can respawn with a different character. Next up, Native Americans who are in desperate need for a buff. Their HP is very low. They have the worst life expectancy out of all the races. Probably because a shaman shaking maracas doesn't help cure cancer. Buffs, peace pipes. Debuffs, spawn camping. Hey,
God.
what are you doing on my land? Strength, low. You know what beats a bow and arrow? Any gun.
Yeah.
Speed, very low. Which would you rather? 1 horsepower or 640? Resistance?
Yeah, 640,
fast
of course.
travel. IQ? Low. If Pocahontas was smart, she would have blown her way to the top. Honeypot the enemy into revealing some of the war plans. But instead, she was too busy getting her clam wet, as her people were the ones actually getting fucked. Happiness? Depends how good my trip is. Endurance? Very low. I'm pretty sure there's only like 14 left. Luck? Low. That dream catcher isn't preventing nightmares. It's making you live one. And special ability, obviously, tax-free land. Next up, Muslim. HP, depends if they're wearing the vest or not. Buffs, oppression. Debuffs, equality. Strength, very high. Praying 5 times a day to someone who doesn't let you taste sin is next-level devotion. Speed, low. That camel isn't beating my horse. Resistance, Christmas spirit. IQ, very high. Convincing half the population they're an NPC is really quite insightful. Happiness, well, if you're a man, high. If you're a woman, then you better hide those ankles. Endurance, max. Fasting while it's 112 degrees outside really builds your tolerance to neglect. Luck, sir, you've been randomly
build
selected for
different.
additional screening. And special ability can speed run their way to another dimension. Next up, Irish. HP, low. The liver can only take so many critical hits. Buffs, storytelling. Debuffs, alone time with Father Cunningham. Strength at holding me down. Max. Speed, low. Hard to outrun your problems when you're sitting at a bar. Resistance, therapy. IQ, low. Maybe if you stop believing in genies, you'd stop asking for wishes. Happiness, low. Hard to feel special when your child's 6 of 9. Endurance, high. Survive potato famine, war, and inbreeding. Luck, low. A 4-leaf clover isn't gonna make her bend over. And special ability, being a white immigrant. Next up, Italian. HP, very high. Apparently talking with your hands is good cardio. Buffs, gaudy jewelry. Debuffs, controlling their temper. Strength, plus 10 every time someone mentions family. Speed, Jesus, do they even have traffic laws here? Resistance, shame. A wife beater isn't a shirt, and kissing your mom on the lips is gross. IQ, high. Figured out a way to monetize bad engineering. Happiness, high. Hard to be sad when you have a Vespa, some wine, and a mistress. Endurance, low. Are easily triggered by pineapple on pizza. Luck, moderate. Their pasta isn't greasy, but the reflection sure is. And special ability, culinary enchantment. Any meal they make adds plus 20 happiness.
Pizza.
Next up, British. HP, average. Strengthened by sarcasm, weakened by hugs. Buffs, accent. Debuffs, hearing the word reparations. Strength, high. It takes strong willpower to eat their bland food. Speed, high. Probably because they're always running from their feelings. Resistance, compliments. IQ, very high. Brilliant at figuring out how to exploit others. Happiness, very high. Anytime one of them smiles, someone will say,
Historically
"Boy, look at this
accurate.
over here." Endurance, high. Decades of rain and bad weather have made them impermeable to emotional attacks. Luck, average. Lost their empire, but somehow kept the Commonwealth as a consolation prize. And special ability, Imperial Kirby. Can absorb abilities from other cultures. Next up, Jewish. HP,
Okay.
low. Turns out anxiety doesn't help your immune system. Buffs, negotiating. Debuffs, side profile picks. Strength, comedy. Turn generational trauma into stand-up gold. Speed, average. Quick when they smell a sale. Slow to pick up the check. Resistance, tipping over 10%. IQ, low. 40 years of roaming the desert, and
Yeah.
not one of you said, I don't think his Moses cat knows where he's going. Happiness, very low. A Jewish mother can make you feel bad about something you didn't even do. Endurance, max. They're borderline unkillable. Poverty, plague, camps, nothing seems to work. Luck, 3 scapegoat. Again, side profile, not the greatest. And special ability, passive irritant. Who uses the urinal next? Don't pee next to someone unless it's the last option. Okay, it's Monday, Friday, Wednesday, and if those are taken, you slip into Tuesday or Thursday. What does it matter? This isn't a team building activity, okay? And if you must know, I got a little bit of a shy bladder.
Just pretend I'm not here.
Well, your arm rubbing up against me isn't helping my stream.
It's a public restroom. I'm allowed to use whatever urinal I want.
You had the end spot, that's prime real estate. But instead, you decided saying shoulder to shoulder.
How about we just go back to ignoring each other?
Fine.
Fine.
You have to know. So after crunching the numbers, I can safely say that people with the best stats are, drumroll, Will Whites, obviously,
Yeah.
always win. Sure, other stats might be better, but we don't patch notes for how broken they
Of
are.
course.
That's my
Always, bro.
Types of people have the best stats. Probably a little different from some of the other content you've seen on YouTube. And that's for 2 reasons. 1, because most people are talentless bitches.
Yep.
And 2, because they're afraid. Afraid of trying something new.
Cowards.
Afraid of getting canceled. Afraid of seeing a green
Yeah.
icon turn into a yellow icon. But greatness doesn't
Bring back
come from
shaming
being
again,
safe,
bro.
It comes from taking chances. And if you want to make generic 8-minute vids, copying or reacting to other people's ideas and attempt to give handies to the algo, then you do you. But your boy just can't do that. When I hear an idea like which streamers are
True.
bottoms or Drake dating simulator, I just feel compelled to finger bang it into existence. However, this comes at a cost, and that cost being money. Now, sure,
I love
could
this
go the
guy.
Batman route and sell drugs to kids, but I'd rather do something a little less soulless. So if you want to support your boy, then subscribe to my brand new compilation channel, Offending All Day, where I can spend all day thrusting my ignorance in you. You know
Yeah.
what I want to do? Oh, you want to push that subscribe button?
Okay, that's my reaction. And I still love dark jokes, racial jokes, and roasting, whether you like it or not. Okay? I don't care. Ciao!